Chiropractic. This is Exploring Chiropractic. I'm Nathan Cashin. I'm excited to be back to the regular schedule of interviewing students around the globe. The past 2 quarters have been just merciless. I haven't had time to record or to edit, but I'm glad to get started again, and we're going to continue our travel around the globe. We've been down to Australia, New Zealand, Barcelona. Today it is South Africa with some students from the University of Johannesburg. With me today is Hardie. How you doing, man?
Hey, good. Thanks yourself, man.
Good. Hey, thanks for getting in touch. And once again, a hat tip to Spinal Column Radio for getting the word out about my podcast.
Yeah, Dr. Lamar does some awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, have you been listening to him for long?
Not too long. I'd say a month or two. I've got through most of his podcasts already.
Have you been through most of them? Because they're long,
yeah.
man.
They are long. The one
episode 171, I think, is his last one, and it's like 7 hours.
No, not yet. I'm waiting for a long drive down to the coast or something where I can do that all in one go.
Yeah. All right. Joining us as well by audio only, we've got a classmate of Gareth, is Devlin. How you doing there?
You just call me Dev, but
just Dev. Okay. Hardie and Dev. I'll try to remember those nicknames. I'm a little poor about remembering names, but hey, thanks for joining us. What's going on down in South Africa, down on the tip there, huh?
Dev, do you want to take us or?
Just busy, studying last month for exams. October's like our heaviest month. Otherwise, yeah, holidays soon.
You guys looking forward to it? How long do you get off for the holidays?
Generally 3 months, which is long. We go from, yeah.
Go ahead.
We normally finish exams at the end of October, and then only go back in February. So we get a nice long break there.
And do you guys go to school year-round? Because I was checking out the website, and as we were saying, it's kind of minimal right now. There's not a lot of info, but they do have an outline of the entire coursework. So it's a 5-year program. Is that right?
The lectures and studying-wise, it goes for 5 years. But then you can finish then. But generally, people take a little bit more time to finish all the hours and all the criteria that they need to finally graduate.
Working in the clinic and doing
clinic
visits.
Yeah, and then the research.
Do you guys go year-round? Because it just has all the courses listed. First year, second year, third year.
Yeah.
Do these courses go from February to December?
Yeah.
January to October mainly.
Yeah.
So you don't have semesters or trimesters like we have in the States.
Yeah, we do. We usually do 2 semesters.
Okay.
So we have like a July break, I think.
Is that a bit shorter, or do you have a longer break?
No, it's a lot shorter because then we have the 3 month at the end of the year. It's usually like 1 or 2 weeks.
How do you guys find that the holiday works out? Because I have 10 weeks on, then a finals week, and then I have 2 weeks off, and it's like that year round. So I only get 2 weeks off to rest, to relax, and then I come back. Is 3 months too much?
I don't know. After the year, especially this October, like Dev was saying, it's packed with tests. We do most of our year percentage in the last 2 months. So, say we do clinical chiropractic, in 2 weeks we do 60% of the year, and most of our subjects are like that. So. Yeah, we need a long break.
I'm excited for this break. I think I told you I'm headed down to Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
First time doing a chiropractic mission trip. Do you guys have any opportunities like that you guys are aware of in your area?
Dev, do you know anything?
Oh, what chiropractic trips? I
Yeah.
missed that.
Yeah,
Um,
like.
Yeah,
No.
like
well,
going to a different
besides
country,
our
treating.
beginning of the year, our car week, our orientation week, we do get
No.
together as a. Am I missing this? We
Yeah.
do get together as a class, and we all go away together, and we jam, we party, and then when the work starts, we noses in our books for the rest of the year. Until obviously
But
fifth year we're in our clinic duty, and then our clinic commitments, and then we've got to spend most of our time there.
yeah, so um, yeah, we don't really do mission trips like you do. Maybe it's something that we can look into and propose to the department.
As far as I'm aware, they're available to anybody to join. In fact, it's not common for students at my school to go because the school itself doesn't sponsor any. Other
Uh,
schools like Life in Georgia goes down to Brazil. Not Life, Palmer, and they go down to Brazil, I think, about once a year with a clinic abroad. It's kind of like Doctors Without Borders. There was Chiropractors Without Borders for a while, but that I don't know what happened to that. So it's a cool experience to be able to travel, to be able to, do kind of some humanitarian work. I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, yeah, it's very exciting. I would like to do something like that one day. Maybe we must
I was checking
organize
out some images
something like
of the
that.
university out there, and you guys have a pretty awesome campus. Do you go to the main campus? Because
No.
as a chiropractic program, you're part of a larger university.
Yeah, we've got 4 campuses for the University of Johannesburg does. We are specifically on Doornfontein, which is right next to Ellis Park. It's quite a big rugby stadium. If you are a rugby fan and you know about the World Cup and everything in '95, you'll know about that stadium. But yeah, we are the smallest campus out of the 4. Um, yeah, it's not the pictures that you've seen on the website.
On the web, yeah.
Sadly, yeah, we are getting massive upgrades at the moment though. I think it was 400 million rand. I'm not too sure what that is in dollars, but there are massive upgrades going on at our campus at the moment, which is very exciting.
What's the focus of the upgrades? Is it new buildings,
Um,
technology?
it's mostly technology and just upgrading security and also maintenance. The EMCs, so the emergency medical care guys, they got like a sim lab, and they've got life-size dummies that do everything. So they literally rock up for one of their cracks, and the dummy can vomit, scream, cry, different heartbeats, murmurs, anything. And we've obviously also used it quite a bit, which is very exciting.
But you use them for like emergency care, or do you use them for
Uh, no,
Diagnostics.
yeah, diagnostics. So it's not for adjusting.
Wouldn't
It's
that be
just
awesome if
for
someone could come up with a dummy like that where the spine would actually move? I think that'd be pretty crazy.
yeah. Maybe it's something to look into.
Yeah, because we do.
Definitely
I
something
just
to
took
look
my
into.
CPR class, and we've got the dummies where you can do the chest compressions, you can do the breathing. It
It's
sounds
the
like
same dummy.
these actually throw up and things like
They
that.
throw up and they can die, and they've got a heart. They've got radial, carotid, femoral, all the pulses everywhere. They're amazing, huh?
That's
Very
incredible. I've never
versatile.
heard of those.
Yeah. So
So
we've
you
got
guys use them to
that.
take vitals, and you can do like check out the heartbeat, check out the maybe use a stethoscope, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the lecturer will have a iPad type thing, like a little tablet, and then on there they can program in the exact heartbeat and the exact murmur and the exact bowel sounds and whatever. Then you've got to, as a student or as a as a student, so you've got to listen in and get all your vitals and all your details about the case, and then you can diagnose and go from there. Then theory questions afterwards.
That's amazing. So you guys are way more advanced. I have my iPhone and I have an app for heart murmurs, and I can like do a quiz. But you guys actually have like this actual body. You gotta do what you're gonna do in clinic. Pull out the stethoscope, place it there, and then you can listen to it. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. It was scary the first time we did our prac, the beginning of this year, because they've programmed in the vitals already. So you've got to watch and listen and take everything into account.
Wrong.
So Dev,
Yeah,
in some schools here, you know, you're almost taking the role of an emergency technician there. Do you guys do a lot more of that emergency care, a lot more of that, I don't know if I want to say primary care, but are you more focused on that, on the diagnostics and on the general medical health, or do you focus more on philosophy of chiropractic?
Well, I think first and foremost we consider like primary healthcare physicians. So if a patient comes in presenting with obviously like say for instance a cardiovascular complaint or something, then we need to be able to pick that up first, and then over and above that, like we're very mechanically focused in chiropractic. I wouldn't say we have any philosophy actually. Yeah, Hardie.
no, we do it in first year in a PPH, which is what principles, practice, and history, and it's very, very basic.
So you do get one course in the philosophy, but you guys don't focus on it. You're focusing more on being primary care physicians.
Yeah. Very, very mechanical.
And is that common in your region in South Africa for chiropractors to be more biomechanical?
Yeah.
I did not
Definitely.
know that. So do you have any chiropractors that are focused on the philosophy? Well, I mean, you listen to Spinal Column Radio. That's all about the philosophy. And you're
nothing like Spinal Column Radio. Nothing at all. I mean, I think we've got, Dev, how many chiros are there? How many guys practicing out there?
It's something like 400 in the country.
So, yeah.
So how do you guys feel about that? Are you guys having to look elsewhere to find the philosophy? Do you feel like you're lacking in that philosophy? We don't, because we don't really get exposed to it much. We don't really understand what the philosophy is, and when we do hear about it, it's the extreme cases, like the really out there doctors. Everyone has their place, but to us, they almost like not. They're on the complete other scale to what we are. So for us, we don't look at it at all. We don't. No one ever asks about it. No one ever goes out there. I think I'm the first one that I know, other than that, just Tic Lizette, who's been involved in the philosophy. I don't really know anyone else in South Africa. In the U.S. and in some of the other countries that I've talked to students, especially in Australia, there's a lot of difficulty because of that difference between the philosophy and the science. In fact, at Macquarie down in Australia, the chiropractic program is kind of getting kicked out of the university that they're in because of that.
I remember that
difference between philosophy and science.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm curious if you feel that you're comfortable with that identity of being a biomechanical primary care physician, or if you think chiropractic needs to have that philosophy. Dev, what do you think?
Well, I think first and foremost, the basics of like treating biomechanically is very important. But then when we leave university, I was always taught by my dad, when you leave university, that's when you learn the most. You learn that through experience with patients, which we're very fortunate enough to have in our clinics and stuff. And then also we can always look to different courses and different chiros in our country to how I say, like, to for inspiration, and like if a chiropractor has an approach that we might be interested in, then that's the beauty of the profession. Is we can go and we can look into that. We're not limited just to biomechanic. You have a subluxation here, you can treat it there. If we want to go into further studies, we can do that. We have that opportunity.
Do you get a lot of the technique seminars coming out to South Africa where you can do Gonstead, you can do upper cervical or Thompson table or whatever it might be?
No, we don't really all like that sort of thing. I know CASA, which is the Chiropractic Association of South Africa. They do run seminars, but as students we don't really pay the CASA fees, and then we don't really go to the seminars. But there are student seminars. There was one this year, and it was awesome. We got exposed to quite a bit and a lot of techniques that I didn't even know existed, which was awesome.
There's so many. I have one textbook that lists over 300 different chiropractic techniques. So I don't know if you can ever get exposed to them all.
Yeah.
But it's good that you get some opportunity. It can be expensive. I mean, the ones that come around in my area are. There's one coming up that's like $1,500 for students. So it's a challenge to be able to get exposure to all of those techniques.
Yeah.
Dev, have you found a technique that you're more interested in?
I've done like not much research, but I've seen some videos on YouTube of the Gonstead technique, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Have you seen that chiropractor? I think he's down in Australia or New Zealand, who's got a Gonstead YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's him. That's one I've been watching. He's incredible.
Yeah. I love watching those videos. And he just went to India and had an interesting video from his visit to India. Again, he was kind of doing one of these chiropractic mission trips sort of things. So that's cool. Even if you're not in the heart of chiropractic land right there in Palmer or down in Texas where seminars are coming every weekend, with the internet and with YouTube, you can go out there and you can get familiar at least with all of these things, and at least get an idea of what you want to look for. So that's pretty awesome. Tell me more about Johannesburg. What's the activity level of the students? Are you guys all stuck in school, or do you get out? Do you play rugby?
Yeah, I play rugby. For the student life, Johannesburg, compared to other varsities in South Africa, isn't the best. That's why what we've done is we've got quite a small course. We start with, Dave, what did we start with? 42.
40 people.
40 people in first year. And from that original 40, we're down to 17.
So over half have dropped out?
Yeah, dropped out and are repeating years. So from the years above us, we've got an extra couple. I think what are we sitting on? 30 or 31 now. Yeah. So it's quite a small, close-knit group per class, and then we've because it's such a small course, we make our own parties, and like Dev was saying earlier, we did that chiropractic orientation week, which is a camp, a car rally, themes, dress-up parties, that sort of thing.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, so we're very close-knit as a course altogether. Everyone knows everyone, and so we make our own party, but party life in Joburg as a student isn't the best compared to other varsities, but there are places to go. Hey, Dev?
Yeah, I think it's pretty great if you're not studying chiropractic. We don't have time to go out and see everything that there is, unless it's holidays.
Dev, is the reason that people have to repeat years or drop out because the program is so challenging?
You know what? I think at the end of the day, if you're motivated to work hard, you'll make it. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is very challenging. Chiropractic has definitely been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. And but you know, a lot of people make it in the end. I don't think there's that many people that, I mean, if they haven't been accepted, they drop out completely. You know, it's just some of us take a scenic route to get there.
It is so challenging. For me, each quarter has gotten harder and harder and harder. And my last quarter was the worst because I'm also doing a master's program. So I have some extra classes there. And I say all the time, like, I just don't even have time to make dinner properly and to sit down and eat, let alone actually study for classes. But fortunately, every quarter it surprised me that I've been able to pass all. Well, I think there's one I'm going to have to retake just because of a mistake on some assignments that I just completely ignored. But fortunately, I don't have to do the whole year over. It is challenging. It's really tough. Sometimes I wonder how it would compare to a medical school program. How much contact do you guys have with the other programs in your school, in your university?
Not much, other than them being on the same campus. There's no like intermingling or anything. We stay pretty secluded, other than the homeopaths, because we study together with them through first to fourth year. We're with them, and then they're in the clinic on a floor above us. So we are quite close with them. Other than that, there's not many that we mix with.
So the University of Johannesburg has quite a varied offering of courses. They've got homeopathy, chiropractic, and technology courses.
Pretty much anything you can think of is at UJ.
Now, do you guys grow up in Johannesburg? Is that why you chose the school? Was there any other option for you?
Dave, do you want to go first?
Well, we've got UJ, and then we've also got DUT, which is the Durban University of Technology. But yeah, I guess for us it was an easy decision because we already live in Joburg to come study here. For me also, I found out that it was an internationally recognized degree at UJ, where apparently I'm not sure. I don't think DUT is. And also,
they are now. They are now. They weren't back then, I think. We just have to confirm with the DUT guys.
But yeah, just like the living home situation, and yeah, it was just much easier, much more convenient to just study in Joburg.
So I think, like most international programs, I'm assuming you guys get a master's, the equivalent of a master's degree?
Oh, we do get a master's.
Right. And would there have been an option to come to the States or to go to another country for you? Was that something you looked into?
Yeah, I looked at going to Life University. The guy's name is completely out of my mind, but my dad used to play rugby with Akara. Then he went over and pushed and apparently made Life University Rugby what it is. But he sadly died 2 years ago from a heart attack. So he was going to try and see if I can get in that way.
Did you say that he started the rugby team at Life?
I don't know if he started it, but I know he pushed. No, I don't think he played on it, but I think he pushed and made it close to what it is today. From what I understand, yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, Life in Georgia, as well as Life West. Life West has a great rugby team as well.
Really? I didn't know about Life West. I only knew about Life University. But yeah, so for me, I played rugby my entire life, and I'm still playing rugby now for the UJ Chiropractic team. And anyways, the Life University. I wanted to go there, but it was just that I would have been almost on my own. I know I would have made mates and stuff, but I would have been on my own, and was quite expensive to go across, even with a scholarship. So best for me was coming to UJ or DUT. Applied at both, but yeah, I got in at UJ, and it was the easier option because I didn't have to relocate down to Durban.
Same with you, Dev? You grew up in the area?
Yeah, that's the same for me.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, what's this extra master's degree that you've got on the side?
The master's degree that I'm doing is it's a master's in sports science, and basically a sports medicine degree.
And that's just in combination with your chiropractic degree, or?
Yeah, so the university I'm at, there's 2 chiropractic universities that offer a master's in sports medicine, and my school is now offering a master's in functional nutrition, as well as some other focuses for sports science, like coaching and health promotion and things like that. So they complement each other. I don't have to take a full master's course load because some of the courses overlap, like the emergency management, and some of the taping and other courses like that. Do you have any opportunities to while you're in school to focus or to specialize in the type of chiropractic you'd like to do, whether it's sports or pediatrics or anything like that?
Nothing at all. I know if you want to do stuff like that, you have to go through CASA, which is that Chiropractic Association of South Africa, and I know that you have to do the sports, exactly what you're doing now, through them.
And so they're probably doing the what is called the CCSP, the Certified Chiropractic Sports Physician.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So my master's is separate from that, but by doing the master's program and finishing it, then I can test for the CCSP without having to do the course. So it's pretty much the same thing, but I think I don't know if it's my school in particular, but they love kicking out different master's degrees. They love just giving diplomas. And unfortunately, I have the habit of acquiring them as well. I'm already starting to think of doing a DAC bar afterwards. I don't know. I'm addicted to school for some reason. As much as I hate being in school, it's so stressful. And yet, I don't know. Well, I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I'm curious a little more. I want to know more why you guys chose chiropractic. I mean, you said you were playing rugby, Hardie. Is that kind of what led you into it?
What happened was that's in grade 10, so it's under 16. I hurt my back pretty badly in gym for rugby. Then I went to a physio. It took quite a while to feel even moderately better. And one of my family friends said, "Why don't you go to chiro?" Went to chiro, Dr. Ross Porgita, and he adjusted me, and within 2 weeks I was almost 100%. I fell in love with chiro from there. He's now become one of my mentors. I go to him for most things, most problems and issues I have.
What was different about the chiropractic treatment compared to the physio?
I don't know. I've been to a physio all my life, and it was so different and so like mind blowing. It was the adjustments I never expected. I knew that they clicked you. That was what I knew back in the day. They clicked you and you felt better, but when it actually happened, the pain and range of motion and everything came back, and it wasn't 100% right away, but the treatment time shortened. I was back on the field in no time, and it was just with his hands and nothing else, just realigning the spine. It just captured my imagination, and then from there I researched and grew my understanding of chiropractic slowly, still growing now. So it was to me, it was just a life-changing moment. That first adjustment.
Sometimes it can be hard to explain. I remember trying to tell
Yeah,
people that when I left the
frustrating.
chiropractor, I would feel like I was actually in line, like I was actually standing straight. And I remember one friend was like, "That's ridiculous. Why? That's the silliest thing." But it's true. I mean, it's just a different feeling. Do physios not adjust? Do they not have that licensure to adjust in South Africa, or are they gaining it?
They're gaining it, I think.
It's moving
Is that
quicker in the U.S. More physios. You have to have a doctorate in physiotherapy to be able to do it now, I think. Although that may be changing. But yeah, it seems like that's
I think,
spreading. The adjustment's becoming a more widely used tool.
yeah. I think they do long lever,
a long
no,
lever?
long lever
Okay, so
adjustment.
they're not taking a contact further away. Deb, do you have a
Yeah.
similar story? What got you into chiropractic?
Sure. For me, actually, I got in. I got involved in chiropractic because I also had an injury. When I was in grade 11, I broke my scaphoid,
Ooh.
and the thing is, at the time, my chiro actually he said if we don't find out what this is, we need to send for X-rays. But then he immigrated to Australia, so then I got inherited by um, as a patient for the next chiro in the rooms. And because I hadn't picked up on it previously, it went undiagnosed for a few years. And I got it fixed only November of last year, and I'm still rehabbing my hand at the moment. But after my initial chiropractic treatment, obviously I wasn't just treated my hand, I was treated my whole spine. And it was my first time for me. And my mom actually said to me, she's like, this looks like the kind of thing I could see you doing, because it's very much like hands-on. I can't see you sitting behind a desk for the rest of your life. And I wasn't keen at all, because I mean the only thing I knew about chiropractic was Alan from 2.5 Men, and I wasn't going to do that route.
Is that right? Is that the first time you heard about it?
Well, I mean, I didn't know anything about chiropractic at that time until my mom, I think one of her friends suggested that I go get treated by one. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do after school, so then I decided to go for the interview. I didn't do a great job of it because I didn't know I was confused what I wanted to do. And but when I got into the course and I started learning more about it, I decided it was my path. Yeah, it was it was what I wanted to do.
Despite the image that 2.5 Men gives it. I was just watching a bunch of YouTube videos because I'm in a Facebook group with a bunch of chiropractors and they posted it. And yeah, they kind of make the profession look a bit silly in that TV
Yeah.
show. But
They definitely do.
hey, speaking of TV, I heard about a TV show that I think is being filmed in South Africa about chiropractors called Safe. Have you guys heard of that?
No.
No,
I
okay.
haven't.
I'm trying to remember now if it was my interview with someone in Australia or in Barcelona, or I can't quite remember. Anyway, I thought they said it was being filmed down there.
I'm surprised you haven't been asked to act in that movie, Hardie.
I'm sure it'll come soon, Dev.
Sure, one day.
Well, if you guys could choose one thing to change about your school right now, what would you pick?
Do you want to go first, Dev?
I might have to think about that. Do you know anything?
Okay. There's not much I'll change at all. Like I said, we're going through those upgrades. Then how the student body works is that we've got 3 councils. Sports council, so we go working in sports events. SCAG, which is Gauteng, which is our region. So it's like one of the states in the United States.
Okay.
It's like it's province there. So that represents the students in Gauteng, so it's just UJ for now. They are looking after the student body's needs and liaise with the departments in CASA and Allied Health and that sort of thing. And then the final one is WCCS, which is that international council.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot more about it
Yeah.
lately, and I finally got in touch, I think with Derek there. I need to get back to him, but we're starting to get the
Yeah.
ball rolling on getting my school involved. So you guys
You,
are involved in WCCS a lot.
yeah. So we've got a WCCS council as well, and what's changed now is now we've got an umbrella program, committee that looks over all three committees. So there's now one president at the top. So any complaints or anything that's happening within the student body, it goes through the different councils, whichever one it may be, and then ends up at the president, and it's called the Chiropractic Student Council. And then that there gets sorts out any of our needs or any of our problems or anything. And I think we've only had it for three weeks now, and it seems to be working well. There are a couple bumps here and there, but it's a change that I think needed to happen.
Cool.
And it will definitely grow and change the way the student body functions in the future.
Dev, can you think of anything you might want to that you think the school could do to improve?
I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with where the department is. We've got an awesome bunch of lecturers.
Yeah.
They all dedicate their time out of their practices to come teach us. They all do a fantastic job. So yeah, I don't think there's anything that I could think of offhand to change about our department.
That's awesome. Sounds like the school's doing a good job.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to. Go ahead, Hardie.
I was just saying that the students are generally very happy. Like I said, as well, if there are any problems, it does get sorted out pretty quickly. It's very nice.
Let's finish up with our Tic Picks. Dev, I don't think I had a chance to ask you to figure something out. So Tic Pick is just a product, a technique, a book, a website that you think chiropractic students should check out. So I'll give you a few minutes while Hardie and I talk about ours. Hardie, what's your Tic Pick?
My Tic Pick for this podcast is Just Tic. It's another podcast. It's from two ladies, Liz and Loz. They now are in Amsterdam. Why I'm recommending it is because Liz is an ex-UJ student. And that's how I got onto this whole podcast. This whole listening to the podcast and how I got involved with Spinal Column Radio and with you as well. So it's been quite a journey from them. Definitely recommend it if you are enjoying this podcast and any others out there.
It's so cool to see other students getting involved with social media online, and I haven't heard about this one, so I'm going to have to check it out and download it. It'll give me some things to listen to while I'm on the plane.
Yeah.
That's going to be great. My Tic Pick for this episode is World Spine Care, and this is an organization that I just learned about because I was planning on going on this mission trip, and I was hearing some things. Some people don't like the idea of going to a country and just adjusting 1,000 people, which is a great thing, but then you leave them and there's no continuation of care. And so there was concern about that, and I was wondering, well, is there anything that has a more consistent program? And the one I'm going on does have some clinics in the area where they go more frequently. They go, I think, 4 times a year at least. But in that search, I came across one called World Spine Care, and it's almost like a Peace Corps for chiropractors, but it's an integrative group of orthopedic surgeons, PTs, chiropractors, and they're pretty small right now, but they're growing. So they've got a couple of clinics right now in Africa, one in India, they're developing one in the Dominican Republic, and what they're doing, though, that I think is great, is they're also getting scholarships for local people to go to chiropractic school, become a chiropractor, come back to their home state, and continue to run the World Spine Care Clinic. That way, World Spine Care can take their volunteers out of the clinic and open another one in another part of the world. So I think that's a new way, a new approach to it, and I'm excited to have learned about it. I just did a race a few weeks ago in which I ran to raise funds for World Spine Care, and that went really well. Got a lot of good feedback from students on campus. And I'm looking forward to the potential opportunity of volunteering once I graduate. Have the opportunity for students to go to Africa or India and work for 4 weeks, for a year, for 2 years in the clinic. And it's a really intense opportunity where you get to learn their spine care protocol, and you get to help people that don't have access to health care as we do in more developed countries like in the US. Not that our healthcare is much better than anywhere else. So worldspinecare.org, you can check that out. Dev, have you been able to think of something that you'd like to share?
Yes, well, I've really been put on the spot by you guys. I wasn't even meant to be in this interview. But if I had to say anything, for me, at this point of my student career, I'd recommend those YouTube videos on the advanced state. The channel is called Chiro Excellence. So yeah, it's quite simple, CHIRO Excellence. And yeah, that's pretty much all I could say at this point. Maybe in another podcast.
Well, what is it about the videos that you like? I'll pull one up here, and here's the video of him. I'll have to mute that. This is the one where he's out in India.
I haven't seen this one myself.
This is a newer one. He had an older gentleman with dystonia. His neck would continuously move to one side. And it looks like after a few upper cervical adjustments, it got a bit better. 4 days later, it wasn't quite as intense. But yeah, my roommate and I sit and watch these, and it's really intriguing. I mean, to see the changes that happen so quickly with his patients. And I especially remember one where there's a lady who I think was a rugby player. She hurt her elbow, and you could tell it was incredibly painful. But after just a couple of adjustments, she was able to move her arm and open the door, which she hadn't been able to do, and she freaked out. She was so excited that she just started jumping up and down and laughing, and it was incredible.
Yeah, I think those videos, they show the beauty. They show the beauty of the profession. I mean, the guy takes a guy who can't hardly walk, or someone with neck like dystonia, as this gentleman had, and the adjustments are so specific, and it's so fast, and and you just see the results like the next day, and it's beautiful to watch.
I love it. Thanks for bringing that one up. Well, guys, thank you for joining me on Exploring Chiropractic and talking about the University of Johannesburg. It's been a pleasure. It's been such an experience getting to know people all around the world.
Thank you very much.
Any last words for chiro students out there?
Ooh, now we're on the spot. Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we must do. Well, Hardie is planning to start a philosophy club himself, obviously with permission and the go-ahead from our dean. And then, so I think at the end of the day, we want to encourage our own classmates to get involved in that. And then also we want to encourage maybe further podcasts like this where we can interact with guys like you from overseas and find out what's going on in each other's professions, and keep it going like that from a student perspective.
I love it. I think we do need to get more involved, and I'd love to see more podcasts. There's room. We need podcasts about different things and different ideas, and I'd love it if you guys have contact with anyone in Durban, pass the word along. I'd love to interview them as well.
Yeah.
And
I'll
anybody
get
else
it
throughout the
done.
world. Hardie, you're starting a new a philosophy club. I'm in charge of the club. It's a lot of work.
It's we haven't we've got to go ahead from the dean, like Dev said. We haven't had our first meeting yet. We're going to wait until these exams are over.
Yeah.
But we're starting small, making it quite informal to begin with, and then build it up from there. And hopefully we can have a full packed club running within a year or so. But we're not looking just at philosophy, we're looking at the art, science and philosophy, so we're going to touch on everything that isn't touched on at varsity and in classes. So anything that any student wants to bring up, we'll all listen to it, read about it, and then discuss it. And then long-term goal is to, like they've said, have international conversations like we're having right now.
That's my goal too, and I think that's the goal of WCCS. I'm glad you guys are on board with that. Let's do it. Let's keep the conversation going. Well, thanks again for watching another episode of Exploring Chiropractic. You can follow me on Facebook, on Twitter. Check out exploringchiropractic.com, where you can see this video and others. Go to iTunes and look for Exploring Chiropractic, and please subscribe, comment, let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk to you again in another episode.
Cool. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.